Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Lizzie, Creative Director of Demetrius Couture. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to make a shirt dress, for yourself or for your client. So these are the measurements you will be needing. You'll be needing the bust measurement, you'll be needing the waist measurement, waist circumference, your shoulder measurement, sleeve length, round sleeve, and your desired length. So first off, before we move on, I will be showing us the pattern I have drafted. This is the front bodice pattern. We'll be needing the half length, or you can call it half scale of your pattern. So this is the front one, and this is for the back. This is for the back. The back, if you see very well, you will notice that the back pattern is having a zipper allowance. So this is my zipper allowance that I have marked here already. This is it, can you see it? And this is the front. So for the front, because the dress is a shirt dress, so I use 2.5 for the wideness of my neck. For my neck width, I use 2.5. Then for the front, I use 2.5 by 3, and for the back, I use 2.5 by 1, because it's going to be having a collar. So that's why I use 2.5 for the width. And for your front pattern, you will be needing 2 patterns. For the front, you will be needing 2 patterns. And this is the second pattern I drafted for the front bodies. So can you see the second pattern? This is the second pattern. And I left 4 inches before I started. I placed the one I have drafted before on it. Can you see the 4 inches that I left? This is it. This is the allowance I left for the front pattern, because it's going to be an overlap. That's why I left the 4 inches. So this is the 4 inches I have left. So the next thing I'll be doing is I'll be drawing the pattern on it. I'll be drawing the pattern I want for it. So the next thing you will do is from your shoulder, come down by 6 inches. Come down by 6 inches from your shoulder. Don't forget, this is the new pattern for the front. The new pattern for the front with 4 inches allowance. 4 inches allowance for the overlapping. Can you see it? This is the 4 inches, the 6 inches from your shoulder. Then thereafter, the next thing you will do is to come like this. Draft another pattern from here. These 6 inches that I marked it so that we are going to know the next thing where we want our style lines to be. Then from the shoulder, you are going to connect a line. You are going to move a line upward like this. You are going to move up like this for about 4 inches, 4 inches or more. 4 inches, but I'm okay with 4 inches depending on your measurement. I'm okay with 4 inches. Then from that 4 inches, the next thing I'll be doing is I'll be connecting the 4 inches to this point. I'll be connecting the 4 inches to this point where I am marking. To this point, I hope you can see it. I marked it up to this point. From here, from your shoulder to this point, you are going to mark 6 inches straight down. Then from your shoulder, you are going to move up like 45 degrees upward. You are going to move up and mark 4 inches. The line from here to here is 4 inches. Then you are going to connect it up to this part. You are going to connect it up to this point. So the next thing you'll be doing is you'll be cutting out this pattern. You'll be cutting out this pattern. Don't think this is the magic. It's not the magic. So I'll be cutting it out for you. So this is the back pattern, and from your shoulder come down by 8 inches or 8.5 inches depending on how deeper you want it to be. So I connected a straight line. Then after connecting a straight line, I splitted the pattern. I separated the pattern because I'll be using 2 different fabric for this style. I'll be using 2 different fabric for this style. So I'm going to show us how it looks like after cutting it on my fabric. And this is the pattern I drafted for for the front. So I will be showing you, like I said earlier, that the front pattern, you are having two types of pattern. So this will be on top of this for the style. So we'll be using, so this is the fabric I'll be using. This material is shirt material. They use it to sew shirts, and this is crepe material. So this is 2 yards, and this is 1 yard. The length is by 60. Both length is by 60. So I'll be using 2 yards of this and 1 yard of this because of the length of my measurement. So if you are bigger than me, if you are like size 10, which means you'll be needing more of this. So right now we want to cut the flare. I want to cut the flare. That's what I want to do right now. So I have already marked it. Down. Then I need to show us how to calculate your flare. I'll be using 360-degree flare, and if you want to use 360-degree flare, which means your waist, you're going to be dividing your waist by 6.28. So when you divide your waist by 6.28, and you are going to add your zip allowance, so that is exactly what you will be using for your radius. That's what you'll be using for your radius, your waist divided by 6.28. Then you are going to add your zipper allowance. The zipper allowance you are going to be using, the zipper allowance I used when I was drafting the pattern, I used 1 inch, which is 1 inch on the left and 1 inch on the right, making 2 inches. So I use 1 inch for my zipper allowance. But this fabric, because the flare is 360-degree flare, I have it in 4 folds. It's in 4 folds like this. So can you see this part is folded and this part is folded. This is how to fold your fabric when cutting 360-degree flare. This is folded. It is not opening. Can you see it? So you'll be adding your zip allowance, and after adding it, you are going to know the length I'm working with, the full length I'm working with, your desired length. I prefer it to be above my nail or below my nail a little bit. So the length I'm working with is length 40, and I added 1 inch for seam allowance at the down part, making 41. And the half length I work with is 15. So you are going to deduct 15 from 41. So I have 26 inches left. So that is exactly what I will be using for my 360-degree flare. Then I'll be using this down part, the remaining one that will be here, the excess that will be here, I'll be using it to cut part of the upper body. So I'm going to cut this out. Right now. So this is the flare that I already cut out. This is my flare. This is how it looks like. Can you see it? So I'm going to split it at this middle, one of the middle parts. I'm going to split it at one side. So for the zipper allowance, so you are going to split it like this, and this is what you will have for your flare. So, and these are the remaining pattern. This is the front pattern. When I was cutting the pattern, I left 2 inches for button allowance, because it's going to overlap. There will be button at the front part. So for the button, I left 2 inches. Can you see it? So when I before you remove the pattern, make sure you notch where your darts will start from. You notch it. Make sure you notch it. And when I was cutting, I did not use my actual half length. I added 1 inch for seam allowance at this down part. So this is what it's going to look like. So the first thing you will do is you are going to hold this one like this, fold it inside. I'm going to sew like this. Can you see it? Sew like this and take it inside. I'm going to do same thing for this other side. Then it's going to overlap like this for the button. It's going to overlap. Then you are going to hold the dart. So I'm going to show us the outcome once I'm done with it. So this is the back pattern. The back pattern that we slitted. This is it. This is the back pattern. Can you see? Like I said earlier, that I'll be using 2 different fabric. So this is it. Can you see that I left allowances for holding it back again? because if you don't have your allowances, by the time you join the two patterns together, it's going to shorten the length. So you are going to add allowances for joining it together, and this is the zipper allowance that I added. So don't forget to notch the dart allowance. So by the time you remove it, after joining it, it's going to look like this. It's going to look like this. Can you see what I'm saying? So I'm going to hold the dart for this one also. So this is it for the back, and this is what I cut out for what will be on top of the front bodies, the front parts. So this is the pattern. Don't forget to notch the pattern. So I cut 4 pieces of this because I want to use the same fabric to line it. If your fabric is, if you don't have excess fabric, you can use the lining to turn it over. So this is what I'll be using for the front. I'll be placing it like this. Can you see the overlapping I'm talking about? It's going to be like this on this my front bodies. After holding it down, it's going to look like this. We are going to place it like this. Can you see that the style is already coming out? Can you see it? So this is how it's going to look like. But before I start showing it, I want to show us something. I want to eliminate some excesses here. So after cutting your fabric here, you are going to mark from this place. You are going to mark ½ inch. You are going to mark ½ inch from this part, and you are going to cuff it. You are going to slant it like this, so that this part is going to be firm. Just mark ½ inch and cut that ½ inch out. Cut it out. So when you cut it out, you have something like this. So you do the same thing on this lining, what I want to use for the interfacing. I'm going to do same thing for it. So this is the outcome after joining it. Can you see? This is where I'm going to fix the button. Can you see it? It's overlap, and this is the back bodies. So this back, what you will do is you are going to join halfway. That is exactly what I did. I joined halfway because I'll still be fixing my zip. I'll be fixing zip so that it will be easy for you to wear. So this is it, and this is the front. So what you will do is placing the one that you cut, the other pattern we cut the other time, you are going to place it on it. Then after placing it on it, this is what it looks like. And pick the second one. Like I said earlier, you are going to turn this. It's either you use the same fabric to turn it over, to use it for an interface, or you use a lining. So after joining it together, you see that I top stitch it. You are going to top stitch, and I use hemming gum. Can you see it? I use hemming gum so that it will lay flat on the surface. So this is how you are going to place it. And I'm going to hold it down. I'm going to hold this down with a pin so that it doesn't shift. Make sure it is well aligned on the armhole line. Make sure it is well aligned. Then I'm going to hold this place. I'm going to hold it down. Can you see that I already held my dart on this side? I held the dart here. So you are going to hold your dart. You are going to hold it, and you are going to place it together like this and turn it over like this, and use the allowance you left for seam allowance. You are going to hold it inside, and you are done. So the next thing you'll be left with is how to fix your collar. So I'm going to show us, and then I'm going to show us how to do that. The next thing I'm going to show is how to cut the collar. All right, now the outcome. So this is it. This is what it looks like after joining the sides together. So I held it down with pin. The next thing we want to do is to fix the collar. And how do you go about it? What you need to do is you are going to remove the pin here, and you are going to measure the neck round. Measure it round like this. Then what I have here is I have 17 inches. So we are going to use the 17 inches to cut this neck part. I want it to be two colors. This will be at the down part, then this will be at the upper part. So it's going to be folded like this. It's going to come like this. So I use the length I used for this part. I cut these in two pieces and I splitted it. So I used the 17 inches for when I measured the neck to measure this part, and I added the same allowance that I used to join this part. So this is what it looks like. Can you see how coffee it looks like? So, and these upper parts, I reduced the length. I reduced it. Instead of using 17, as I use 17 to cut this one, I use 15 to cut this. I use 15 to cut this. So, and this place, can you see that it is folded? I only held it here. I sew it at the side. Then I put it inside. So I sew it together with this one. So the next thing you are going to do is to turn it out, and I'm going to iron it. I'm going to iron. Don't forget to iron when you are sewing, when you are making your collar or your dress. I'm going to iron it, and I'm going to fix it on the neck part. I'm going to fix it, and I'm going to go along and fix my flare, my 360-degree flare, and I'm going to come back and show us how it looks like. Alright, this is the outcome of a tutorial. So this is how it looks like. So I'm going to show you on the mannequin what it looks like. Can you see it? So when you want to turn the down part of your flare, this is the trick I do use, and I think you can use it, can try it with yours. Before you don't fold two times, because the fold is not going to be straight. So you serge it first. Once you serge it first, then you fold it once. So the edge is going to look very neat and it's going to look straight. Can you see it? So I sew 2 times on it. Can you see it? So this is what it looked like. So this part, you are going to tack it down, or you sew it straight down. You secure this edge with your sewing machine so that it won't keep dropping, it won't keep falling off. So, and you are going to put a button, and you're going to make a button holes on this side, and fix your button here, and also fix your sleeve, your desired sleeve. You might not like this, just fix a sleeve that will fit this style, and that's all. I'm going to show us the outcome on the mannequin. So this is the outcome. I hope we can see it. So don't forget to like and share and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.